STICKERMANIA from Louisville, Kentucky. We have a really big show lined up. You know who said a really big show?
Oh.
In 1964? Is Sullivan.
Who is it? Sullivan.
The night he brought the Beatles to America on TV. All right, here's a few. We're gonna have a special guest about halfway through. He's been missing from a few last live streams, but he's gonna make an appearance. I'm sure you know who he is. A few things before I start showing things that have happened on the internet in the last couple of days. March 14th, a My Bonnie like this. Only 2 years before this version, My Bonnie by Tony Sheridan and the Beat Brothers sold for $15,000 in very good plus condition. This is a 1964 version that's worth about $50. Supposedly they destroyed almost all of them and only 10 of them exist in the world. It was in very good plus condition, sold for $15,000 right away. I'd say that's pretty amazing.
Wow.
And then a couple nights ago, somebody on eBay listed 13 factory sealed Beatles reel-to-reels found in a estate sale. They were all 7.5 inches per second speed. And right away when he put up 13 of them, I offered him $5,500 for all of them. And he said he wanted $8,500 and we couldn't make a deal. And now he sold 2 of them. He sold Rubber Soul for $800 and he sold Meet the Beatles for $800. Problem with those factory sealed reel-to-reels, they're over 50 years old now because they're made in the late 60s and 70s, and the tape is starting to oxidize, so it's a pretty big risk. He had one, volume 2 of the White Album, 7.5 inches per second, and that's the one that has the Paul is Dead edits on it. It's the only official release ever to have Paul is Dead edits on the 2 reel tapes. They take out like Paul miss him, or the Walrus was Paul and Glass Onion. They edit all those things out. But I offered him, he has it at $600, buy it now, and I offered him $500 for a buy it now quick sale, and he told me to don't message him anymore, so I said likewise. Today I had a pretty good purchase history. There were 3 big items on eBay today that went off this evening, and I got a hold of all of them. One went off this afternoon. Last 2 seconds I bid on these 3 items and won them all. Got another 2014, just like this, model box set in the shipping box. I got another one coming. I won in the last 2 seconds today. 2 seconds is my bid because they don't have time to react if I make a bid with 2 seconds. I also won 4 1964 Remco dolls, a near mint in the boxes with the cellophane windows still on all of them and the inserts in the box. I got that in the last 2 seconds today. And I also got they had a sealed Exile Unipack Rolling Stones Exile on Main Street today with a hype sticker on it. And I won it in the last 2 seconds. I think it was for $230, something like that. That's what I won today. Let's start showing. So I'll talk about some things that sold in the last week. I sold the Beatles brunch bag from 1964, the girls' version of the lunchbox I sold for $4.99. I sold the thermos I showed in Rachel Ghost's channel the other day in the interview last Wednesday. I appreciate Rachel doing that for me. Sold the thermos for $3.99. And I have, I'm working on getting, Rachel wants a 2014 mono book from that shipping box. I'm working on getting that for helping me out. Some other things I sold in the last week. I sold the Fan Club 1964 USA Beatles trifold. It folded out, the Fan Club Christmas record. I sold for $144. I sold East Coast, my last peeled butcher cover I had in my inventory. I sold for $1,500. I've sold 3 anthology media kits now with the VHS tape in the middle, and I sold it for $150. I've sold 3 in the last 3 weeks. And those 1966 Candlestick Beatles ticket stubs to our last concert, August 29th, 1966, they sold for $1,333. So that scrapbook that I showed in the last live stream was a heck of a buy. Some other things I sold in the last week. I sold my Monos Rolling Stones Santanic Majestics Request from the United Kingdom with a 3D lenticular cover for $110. I sold the sealed Emotional Rescue with a hype sticker for $88. I sold the sealed It's Only Rock and Roll with a hype sticker for $89. And I sold the Tattoo You Rolling Stones with a hype sticker for 2 songs for $109. Today, the 1963 UK talcum powder that I had went out. It sold for $300. And yesterday I sold the Let It Be 7.5 inches per second factory pre-recorded reel-to-reel tape. I sold for $199. Also, the German 1977 Magical Mystery Tour with the 2 stereo mix went out today. Sold for $239. One went off today on eBay for $199, but I said it had a seam split and it didn't look in good enough shape. I didn't bid on it. My first press Abbey Road from the United Kingdom went out. I sold for $199. My sealed Hey Jude, when I bought all the Salvation sealed albums, it went out today for $144. And the Yellow Submarine sold today for $49. And the She Loves You in German, the promo, white label promo I had, went out for $188 yesterday. So those are what I sold in the last week. All right, let's start showing some things. Sticker granddaughter's got the Beatles record player behind her there.
Wolfie's baby's life and record said hi, Frank and Sticker Kids.
All right, Sticker granddaughter and Sticker kid's gonna make appearance here in a little bit. The Beatles record player is last time you see it on my live streams for a couple months. It's going to magnetic tape recorder here in Louisville next week to get rid of the hum, get it completely restored in plain condition. Pretty nice though. Fifth or sixth one I've owned in my lifetime.
Cord's out on this side. If you
Yeah, you can put the cord in. I mean, it's got a little thing there where that's fine.
Good.
Couple things I got in the last week. Got the Beatles 2018 50th anniversary. This is the one, the CD sealed box. And the reason this is going up in value because it has a 5.1 Blu-ray CD inside there. It's the only way you can get the 5.1 mix of the White Album because they don't let you stream that. It's one of those recent collectibles that do go up in value. Besides Paul McCartney's archive editions, this is the Ram edition. They go up in value too.
True.
Got this in yesterday. 42 issues of Beatlology from Canada. Andrew Croft put out this magazine in 1999 and the early 2000s. There's a lot of interesting articles. They were talking about this, I think, on Rachel Ghost's interview the other day. The set list that was on stage when the Beatles performed at Washington Coliseum on February 11th, 1964. It's got real good articles on the butcher cover. I didn't bring my first state butcher cover. I put it back in the bank vault. I probably won't show it again until I sell it. But I do have a second state I got in this week. Real nice mono Scratton with a water-based glue. Hopefully you can see Ringo's V-neck there. And it even has it was put on real quick here on top. And I'll start on the top because there's some wrinkles there in the slick. It looks to me like I can start real easy on the top edge. Can you see the V-neck there?
Yes. Go up a little, just to make it a little, yeah, right there is perfect.
Put the Beatlology magazines away.
Why? Everybody like, comment, and subscribe. And hit the notification link down below.
Yeah, we got quite a lot of subscribers. I'm losing the female. I think I got a lot of males watching, but I think I only have like 6% of our females watching. And a lot of is the age group from 45 to on up. I used to have a lot from the 25 to 34, but maybe it'll come back. But I still have like 63, 64% of you watch my videos aren't subscribed. But my watch time has picked way up in the last week with all the live streams I've done, so that's going to help out.
I think so.
All right, let's talk about some holy grails. Mike from the In Groove did a video on vinyl, certain vinyl prices exploding in value. And this is one of them right here. He says this will go to about $5,000 value before long. Led Zeppelin turquoise, first press from England, 1969. The red plum label. And the matrix is scratched out, it's uncorrected. Very first press. I played it yesterday. It's only been played a couple times, excellent condition. The best I've ever heard Led Zeppelin 1. I mean, some of you might disagree, this isn't the best audiophile pressing. There's the best I've ever heard it.
Me too.
There's 4 albums I played this week that have been the best I've ever heard them. Let's pull those out. The White Album, Dutch, the Led Zeppelin 1, the Led Zeppelin 4 from England, and the Sticky Fingers first press from Germany. If you want to talk about audiophile pressings, they're going to go up in value. Here's 4 of them right here. All right, let's talk about Led Zeppelin. Let's talk about Led Zeppelin 4. I said this wrong on Rachel's Ghost channel. I gave her apology today. I said it, George Peros was the one that mastered it, but it was George Peckham. Has Pecco, Porky Pecco duck in the dead wax, A1B1. I've never heard Led Zeppelin 4 before with that much power. It ranks up right up there with the Led Zeppelin 2 RL Hot Mix from Monarch as the most powerful rock album that I've ever heard. The Black Dog and Rock and Roll is just amazing on this pressing. That John Bottom, John Paul Jones, you hear that foundation, you hear every instrument, and then Jimmy Page and Robert Plant can do their magic right on top of it.
Wolfie Baby's Life in Love and Records said, "What you gonna offer that Led
Zeppelin turquoise?
Zeppelin, you showed first."
Yes, this is I was at 3,900, but I had a lot of people interested. It's down. I have it now at a firm price at $3,300. First person who buys it gets it. This is up for sale at $555 if you want the best sounding pressing of Led Zeppelin 4, one of the top 5 albums ever in classic rock. It can be yours. All right, I played this today, the Dutch pressing of the White Album. All I can say is I was amazed, and Andrew from Polygram Auction is correct. The best audiophile pressing, stereo audiophile pressing of the White Album that exists in the world is this Dutch pressing from Holland. Don't know what they did to make the magic, but it's such a natural sound. The White Album to me never sound better than today. I even enjoyed Revolution number 9, the whole track. I usually won't listen to the whole track. If you notice on the side 1 label, instead of Glass Onion, it says Glass Union. And on While My Guitar Gently Weeps, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. It has an extra E on gently. It's got the little seals, the way the records are sealed with a little sticker there on top. And it's got the inserts, and it's even numbered 040355. Andrew from Polygram Auctions, he's slipping a little bit, but he has turned me on to a lot of audiophile Beatle pressings. And that was one of them. He was dead right.
What was the best?
One other one, it's amazing how 4 great albums this week I heard the very best pressings ever that existed. Sticky Fingers, 1972, first press from Germany with the bigger zip. The zipper's different than the England. It's got that extra printing on there.
I don't know which one he's asked. Wolfie Baby said something about Mystic, Mono, or Stereo. One of them he was asking.
The White Album is stereo. They're all stereo that I'm showing. These are all the best stereo audiophile pressings of these 4 albums that exist in the world. Sticky Fingers. This pressing is mastered by Doug Sachs, and he did something that they didn't do in the United States because it's not muddy. It's just really powerful. The Rolling Stones at their peak. It's got TML in the dead wax on both sides, and that is Doug Sachs' trademark. Any questions on these 4 audiophile pressings before I put them away?
Wolfie's Baby Life, Love, and Records said, "Gotcha."
Gotcha.
With a thumbs up like you do.
All right. Way to go, Wolfie.
Period.
Wolfie, you're talking about, one time you were talking about putting a video up of all the things you bought from me. Is that still going to happen?
Yeah, that'd be a good video. We'll do a reaction video. This one.
One last audiophile pressing before I put everything away here. I got the 1977, late 70s Revolver stereo pressing from Germany. Gotta have 072 on the matrix. It's a -1 in the dead wax. And the Germans sure knew how to make magic with the master tapes from Abbey Road Studios. Another one of their masterful stereo pressings like Magical Mystery Tour and The Beatles.
The Beatles.
The Andrew from Polygram Auctions also says this is the best stereo pressing of Revolver that existed in the world. My Magical Mystery Tour, my last one I told you, went out in the mail today from Germany. Alright, I gotta put the turquoise, this is the big dog, I gotta put it away.
So, how's everybody doing on this fine Saturday?
Everybody doing okay?
Oh, Wolfie Baby's Life Loving Record said, yep, been away on vacation and daughter getting married next month, but I want to make that video.
Alright, way to go, Wolfie baby. Let
Way
me
to
know
go.
when you put that up. We'll tell Rachel about that one. I thought Rachel Ghost has been on always on in the morning. When I get up late because I'm up late. And there was no stream from Rachel's Ghost yesterday, and I messaged her, I sent her an email, I said, what happened? YouTube go after you? To take you down, or what happened? He says, no, they wouldn't replay it after they got taken down on one song they played, I guess, yesterday. Don't know what the song was.
Daniel Castillo said, is the turquoise and audiophile pressing?
Yes.
And John Moreno asked, oh, he said, good evening, Mr. Stickermania.
John Marino from California. I used to go to California every year, but I'm not an owner of a grocery store, so I don't get free round trip tickets, airplane tickets anymore, airfare.
You wish you could?
That'd be nice. I used to go out there every year.
Oh, I want to go.
One more thing about Led Zeppelin. I got a Led Zeppelin 3 today in Germany, pressing in near mint condition. I haven't played it yet. Thor on Rachel's Ghost, he would know if that's a good sounding pressing. It's got that spinning wheel, but it doesn't have the thing in the middle, but they still spin. But it's made a little different than the USA. And we got the Led Zeppelin House of the Holy. This is a UK Robert Ludwig first press. And PB Thal said on a stream, I think yesterday, that the George Piros UK of House of the Holy is the best sounding pressing. So I guess this will be second, the Robert Ludwig. But talking about Robert Ludwig, the Led Zeppelin 2, my last one that I sold for $2,500. I think will go right in with Mike from the In-Grooves video about which records are going to explode in value, and that would be it. I think it'll be the near mint or excellent condition RLs from Monarch or Presswell will be worth $5,000 before long. Because there's so few of them out there, they all got played to death. Mike from the In-Groove says he's had 200 come into a store in the last couple of years, and they've all been just very good or very good plus at the very best. Said most of them are all trashed. But the last one I had was only played a couple times. excellent condition. And it was a Monarch pressing. I played it once, and it was amazing. And sold it for $2,500 a few weeks ago. But that's a record that's gonna explode in value like that turquoise.
Your friend
Wendy
said, "Howdy, Frank."
How you doing, Wendy?
Couldn't get it right.
Glad you showed up again.
Yeah, he's saying something about the
Daniel Castillo said, Mike from the In-Groove said the turquoise is not in as definite as Zepp to Ludwig. Ludwig.
It's not as what?
Definite.
It's not definite as being going up in value? Or the best pressing?
sounding probably, I think.
Probably talking about the best pressing. Maybe he's saying the turquoise isn't the best pressing. It's the best pressing I've ever heard. But the Led Zeppelin 2 Monarch pressing is definitely the best pressing ever to exist, the Led Zeppelin 2. So if you can ever find a near mint or excellent condition on it, you definitely got a holy grail.
Like and subscribe and hit the notification link down below.
Got this in yesterday, another 1978 factory sealed from the United Kingdom. This is with the Beatles, with the little sticker they put on there. That's what Capitol Records did when they imported from England for their BC 13, the first 3,000 box sets. Remember that last week I showed the Led Zeppelin 3? I showed the what I won in heritage auctions. I showed the BC 13 from Australia that was factory sealed. That was the only thing I won in the heritage auctions. I made $25,000 in bids, and the only thing I won was something that went off early in the auction before all the big bidders got in there. And I sold it for $1,000, went out in the mail last week. It opened from the top. It was a different BC 13 than the England one.
Daniel Castillo asked, did you enjoy the Beatles' Moifis when they first released?
Mofis?
Mofis.
Yeah, I had the black Mofi Fidelity box set. And I thought it was okay. But then I also had that German Magical Mystery Tour discovered in the late 70s. I bought a big Beatle collection, and I was playing it for all my Beatle freak friends, and they had never heard Magical Mystery Tour sounded like that. So I was one of the first persons to discover the audiophile pressing of from Germany of Magical Mystery Tour, because it came out in '73, and I discovered it in the late 70s. I had people come over. I'd take them down in the basement before my son was born, and I'd play that album, and they said, I've never heard Penny Lane or Baby You're a Rich Man sound like that before.
The next question for you. Just stay sitting.
KRWD said, Frank, the individual albums you have that came from a BC 13 box, are they England version?
Yes.
Yes.
UK. Except for that Holland White album. I have a whole BC 13 from Holland up for sale on my eBay store at $700, and I just put up the White Album alone today for $277. Already got quite a few interested watchers on it. If you want to hear the White Album in its full glory, this is the pressing.
Why is
Hey,
this
do that real quick.
It's a specific date. I mean, never mind. KRWD said, I know, I'm looking at it too.
Looking at what?
Oh,
What I got on sale.
Oh, yeah. Is that funny? That was funny.
the box set.
The box set. That's what he said. KRWD.
All right, we talked about butchers. Let's have our guest appearance come in here. Sticker Kid's gonna make appearance.
All right, y'all, come on.
Let's go, real quick.
Real quick, we're gonna do this real quick, and hey, give me the water that stays out. Go.
Here's my two youngest grandkids, and Sticker Kid hasn't been here in 3 weeks. Say hi, Sticker Kid. Look at the camera.
You gotta get in there with them.
Come on.
I'm gonna take away. You all gotta stand back there.
Come on.
You have to stop paying attention.
Yeah, scoot over. Dallas can't be seen.
Come on.
Dallas, come here.
Yeah, get up there.
Dallas, come here. Stand up.
There's the youngest ones. Sticker kid's been gone 3 weeks. All right. Stand up. Stand up.
Don't stand up.
Real quick.
Why you got good
Come on.
off?
I'm the white gloves man. All right. That's your parents.
Alright, come on, you
Adios.
guys. You gotta
Adios.
go back out.
Everything's
so we
too
can
expensive in this room.
Yeah, come on. You got to say hi now.
Tell everybody bye, sticker kid.
He misses the
Pay
line.
attention.
All right. That was our special appearance.
KRWD said nice family.
All right. Thanks. You saw this in the last stream. I'll pull out a few other things. Throw out your questions. You got some questions about anything I've shown. Sorry I didn't bring my first steak butcher cover today.
Why didn't you?
I just don't want to handle it anymore until I sell it. It's too expensive.
Understandable.
You saw when we talked about the Remco dolls from that I bought today of the Beatles. These are the Dave Clark 5. You got Dave Clark, the leader. You can tell he made himself big. And the rest of the bunch. Mike Smith's in here playing organ here, even though he was pretty much the leader. He's the one that did it, sang all the songs. You got the Air Flight bag from 1964, the red version. There's only made red and black. The zipper still works. It's up for sale at $555.
That's a lot of money.
Pretty nice. Got the handle still on it. A fragile piece
There's actually.
that wasn't made to last 50 years.
Joseph Mantino asked, "Hello, will you be making video of peeling a butcher cover?"
That was about my last thing I was going to talk about. Next Thursday is what we got scheduled.
That's the plan.
We're gonna make probably take me 2 to 3 hours to peel this, and then we'll try to make cut it down to 2 10-minute part 1 and part 2, the highlights. Told you I was gonna start on the top, where you can see those wrinkles are, because it looks to me like it'll pull down real easy on the top right there. Steam peel it. Number 3, Scratton with a water-based glue. That's our plan. Didn't put this one up for sale like the last one I had in the shrink. It sold for $1,888. Somebody was interested in it, and I think they wanted me to give them a deal on it. I said, no, it's a firm price. If it doesn't sell tonight at $1,888, I'm peeling it tomorrow. And he bought it 5 minutes later. He said, I can't let you peel something that's in that nice condition. I showed it to my Kevin Records, my buddy here in Louisville, and he said it looked so new, like it just came from the store, that it was unreal. It was pure white. Where you can see this one's got the foxing colors, age colors from all those years. The one I sold at $1,888 was pure white all the way to the edge. The nicest second state I will ever have. But we're gonna see if we can make a nice peel of this and make an interesting video. When I peel a butcher cover, I'm concentrating the whole time, so I won't be talking, but when we make the videos, I'll talk over, try to explain what I'm doing.
Okay. So KRWD said, "Oh wow, that will be a nail biter," and Joseph Mantino said, "Wonderful, I'm excited to watch."
All right, that ought to get a lot of views.
And then Christopher Cordova said, "Does that with the Beatles from the box come in a poly inner sleeve?"
The Beatles White Album?
The Beatles from the box. Maybe.
I don't know.
And
So you talking about this?
there's
This came from the box set. This is a factory sealed the way England did it, or United States Capitol Records did it with a loose shrink wrap baggie. They weren't shrink wrapped in England, but when Capitol Records brought them over and put them in their BC 13 box sets, they factory shrink and they put this hype sticker imported from England. I guess that's what you're asking about.
and Joseph Mantino also said that's a really nice shade of red.
Shade of what?
Of red.
On the
Oh, the red and the hat carrying vinyl.
yeah.
This was sold to the girls in 1964 in red and black. So they could go to their parties or go to their overnights. They could put hats in there or whatever they needed for that for their sleepover.
Did they?
I don't know. I was only 10 years old at that time. I was just lucky they talked to me the next day after the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan. They never talked to me before, and then all of a sudden I got on the bus in 4th grade the next day and they said, "Did you see the Beatles? Did you see the Beatles?" I said, "Yeah, I saw them." Wow, girls are talking to me. What's going on? All right, we got this 1964. I think I showed this in the last stream one more time. George Harrison, perfect mask with no cracks at all. Got the strap there on the back. Got the fake hair on there. Fake eyebrows. Brushed on hair. Really nice. Rachel's ghost thought this was Paul McCartney, but it's George Harrison. And I got a costume with no dry rot. I've had these before and they always have dry rot on the legs, but this one must have been stored right. It has no dry rot. I don't know what size that would have been. 10 to 12, young boy or something. All right, any questions?
Wendy said, "Kids are growing. Good night."
Kids are what?
Growing. Good night.
Oh,
I don't know what that means.
they're not so small anymore.
She said the kids are growing up, and then she's saying good night. She's going to bed.
All right, good night, Wendy. Thanks for checking in with us.
And Daniel Casilio said, "Did you understand the Beatles' later music since you were quite young?"
I was pretty busy in the 60s in sports and piano and all the stuff I was doing. I was even learned how to play the piano, and they drafted me into a band, like a garage rock band for like a week, but it didn't last. When the Monkees came out, everybody wanted to form a band, and I was in one for a second. This is about all I got left from that amazing scrapbook collection I showed you last week from California.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes.
Buffy Baby Life Love and Record said, "Looks amazing. That costume was cool."
The what is costume?
Mhm.
The Halloween costume? Yeah, I bought the costume separately from the mask, put them together, and I think it's pretty nice. Every box I see when they're in the box is always worn or smashed up or anything. I think if you had a perfect one in the box, it'd be worth $1,000 or more. I can't imagine what a whole set. Rachel Ghost was trying to think what a whole set with those would be perfect in the box. It'd be, who knows, it'd be quite valuable. I didn't bring my headphones today. My Beatles cost headphones. They're locked up in my bank vault. I had an 20 interested watchers on it. I sent out a $5,555 offer on them. Nobody's bought it yet.
All right, hold on. We got 4 now.
Questions?
John Moreno said, "I have
Led Zeppelin.
I have Led Zeppelin 2 RL. Not sure if it's Monarch. The label one has PR on it. Thoughts on this one?"
He has a PR. That's a Presswell.
It's,
Monarch has a MO.
the label has PR on it.
That's a Presswell. That's the second That's right up there with the Monarch as one of the best. So if you got one that's hardly played, excellent condition, it would be worth over $2,000.
Ooh.
Right next.
Christopher Cordova said, when your eBay listings say never played, does that mean they were recently opened and listed? I'm interested in a couple.
That means I bought a BC-13 that was never played. I looked at it in the kitchen light. There's no play marks. There's no spindle marks by the spindle hole. It's in perfect condition. Perfect unplayed condition.
Joseph Mantino said, how much would a costume go for in that condition?
Was it Led Zeppelin 2?
No, the Beatles costume, I'm guessing.
Oh, if you're talking about all 4 costumes, Halloween costumes in the box, in mint condition, my guess would be over $5,000 for all 4 of them.
Miller J said, have you had a lot of people asking about your first day butcher cover?
First day butcher cover? Not too many. I got 100, the most watchers I've ever had on an eBay item. I got 113 watchers on it. The most interest I've ever had in an item. I have the best first date on eBay, and I don't know if it's the best in the world on the internet, but Perry Cox ranks it as a near mint condition, almost flawless. It's got one little crease on one corner, but it has no aging at all. It was never put in a frame over the last 50 years, so there's no aging at all to the butcher slick.
I do the John Moreno.
John Moreno said, by the way, it's mint.
Talking
Like,
about the
it's-
PR
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin.
PR Led Zeppelin mint. Boy, you want to sell it to me? $2,000 right now. That's my offer.
And then do the last question.
And then Joseph Mantino said, just the one you have, it's really in nice condition.
What is?
I'm guessing he says he likes your butcher, or is he talking costume? No, he's saying the costume you have that's in nice condition. He wants to know the price of your costume. How much
Well, it's up there for $499 for my Halloween costume.
Hey everyone, hi Frank, said Caesar.
I'll put the scrapbook away, and then I'm going to talk about some high prices that are sold in the last month on the internet. This is the scrapbook that I bought. I've sold most everything. That's the Help souvenir book. You only got it the premier hardcover book. And this one I can't believe hasn't sold yet. The original flyer for the premiere of A Hard Day's Night in California, August 12th, 1964. A perfect 13 by 8 inch flyer with the cartoon figures. That's why I bought the scrapbook, because I knew that this was worth money. And it's got the ticket that Susan Lyon used that night, and the hang tag, that souvenir that she got at the movie theater. And she even bought the magazine. It was in the souvenir stand. Souvenir Theater Edition was only sold at the premiere of the Hard Day's Night movie. All right, let's talk about some high prices that sold in the last month. I said these on Rachel's Ghost, but maybe all of you didn't watch Rachel's Ghost. These are shockers. Told you about the My Bonnie. Unused Washington Coliseum ticket for February 11th, 1964. Sold at Heritage Auctions for $28,750. John Lennon's personal number 5 White Album, probably sold to Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys for $162,500. They had a sealed First State mono butcher cover, and now you know they slab them and they have them graded where they're in a plastic, like baseball cards and stuff. They're doing that with real high-end albums. I haven't done that yet. But anyway, it went for $112,500. First State mono butcher cover. Mine's only $19,000, $999. Mine seems like a bargain. They had a set of Beatle autographs with Cynthia Lennon and Brian Epstein that was signed on a Pan American Flight 101 menu when they were on the way to America February 7th, 1964. And it sold for $100,000. I think I made a starting bid on that, but boy, I didn't stand a chance on that one. And then the Meet the Beatles Moving Heads 1964 store display. I think it's been turned hands. It's been in 3 of Heritage auctions in the last 10 years. This time it's up to $47,500. Those were some of the big things from the. Then I told you that Rockaway Records put all their high-end stuff. They didn't put their First State Butcher cover, but they put all their high-end picture sleeves and promos and everything is up on eBay now. I don't know if that means they're not selling in the store anymore or not, but the first night they listed all these things, they sold a Can't Buy Me Love, very good plus condition picture sleeve for $2,000. And I sold one in excellent condition several months ago for $1,222. So I guess I sold mine too cheap. That's another thing, like like Mike from the In Groove's talking about. Certain things are going to explode in value. That Can't Buy Me Love picture sleeve is only on the way up.
Daniel Castillo asked, "Did you participate in the Summer of Love?"
1967. I went to California. My grandparents took me to California in the Summer of Love, and I would have been 13.
Jesus.
And I got to go to the very top of the Golden Gate Bridge with my sister, younger sister. She's a year younger than me, and my Uncle Hank. He's a couple years older than me. We went to the very top of the Golden Gate Bridge. You had to walk up this. The elevator took you part way, and then you had to go to the ladder the rest. And when you were on the top, the bridge, the top part was actually swaying. It was scary for a 13-year-old kid. My grandfather rented a house on Belvedere Island in Tilbourne, and he had a big going away party, and Joe DiMaggio was supposed to show up. But he didn't show up. But Fannie Mae, the famous fan dancer, she was pretty on in her years. She showed up, and she wanted to go on we had a little sailboat called the Sailfish. She wanted to go out on the little lake we had. So me and my uncle took this exotic fan dancer out on the lake. And that was quite an experience for a 13-year-old kid. And we also went to a nightclub called Bimbo's 365 in downtown San Francisco. And here's a 13-year-old kid going in, and they have an aquarium where it shows like a girl in a bikini swimming in the aquarium. But they took me down to the basement, and you could see this girl swimming in this little pool. And somehow they had the magic to make it look like she was up in the aquarium up there in the bar. So that was some of my things I did when I was 13 years old, the Summer of Love. I hope that enlightens you a little bit. Oh, I also, when I was a grocery store owner as a rock and roll grocer in Hamilton, Ohio, we had one of those LA trips. And we rented a car, and we went from San Francisco to LA and back, and it was an all-day trip. And we stopped off at Monterey Festival Fairgrounds because I wanted to see that auditorium where Jimi Hendrix played in the Monterey Pop Festival. And we also went to a San Francisco Giants baseball game in the early 1990s. And we only went for a couple innings. I wasn't paying any attention to the baseball game. It was at Candlestick Park, and all I could think in my mind was looking at second base where the Beatles had performed. So that's some of my California stories.
California dream.
Yeah. All right, a couple other sold items there, and let's got some questions to round this out. The Ram 1971 Monorail album that supposedly there's only 10 exists. PDP Thal says there's 100 that exist, but Perry Cox says there's only 10. Perry Cox sold one for $9,100, and the next week Rockaway Records put one up for $20,000. PB Thal says he has one that he bought for $1. I say that's a pretty good investment. PB Thal also has a salesman promo copy of the butcher cover slick that they must have gave to Capitol Records salesman in 1966, and it has punch holes on the left side like it was in in a 3-ring, what do you call this thing? Notebook. But anyway, he has a real one, and he was asking me on a live stream. I would say it's got to be worth about a couple grand. The Perry Cox sold a perfect butcher cover slick from 1966, a stereo for $5,600 a couple weeks ago. All right. Told you that. I told you about the RAM.
Great Shake said the sealed mono paste over that Rockaway Records has listed on eBay. Looks like a reseal to me.
A reseal? Yeah, that's the scary thing about sealed albums. I saw a Stones sealed album up on eBay today. I can't remember which one it was. And it had the seal where it was just a line straight on the right edge, and it didn't make any sense to me. I usually buy, I don't have any right here now, but I try to buy the ones that are factory sealed with a hype sticker. And like this Rolling Stones album here with the shrink, and it has the hype sticker and the price tag. I think that proves it's original sealed. That's the original shrink wrap. It's not been resealed. Usually you'll see a couple factory breathe holes on the front shrink too.
John Moreno said, Mr. STICKERMANIA, you were a young swinger back in the day.
Yeah, for a 13-year-old. Yeah, I was thrown into it hard by my dad and my grandfather. And then I was, at 14 years old, I went to work in the grocery business. By 16, I was a manager of the store on the weekends.
Nova's Nick said, hello, Frankie, young lady.
Nova's Nick.
And then Nova's Nick also said, what do you have in for us tonight, Frank?
Oh, you're going to have to replay it because we've showed all the biggies. I can show the turquoise again, the big one.
Oh my God.
Nova's Nick, you missed me showing the
Here's the next question.
Led Zeppelin turquoise, original first press, very first pressing of any Led Zeppelin album in the world.
And Caesar said, thanks for the Die Beatles record. It sounds great.
All right, Caesar, thanks. That is the best stereo pressing of Please Please Me that exists anywhere. They took the master tapes from Abbey Road Studios, which weren't done that great to begin with, but they didn't add any compression, and they made a real rock and roll record of Please Please Me. I don't know what the Germans did in the late 70s, but they did magic with the Beatles albums.
They did.
73 through 1980. I'd buy every German product. I've had the Sgt. Pepper before. It sounds amazing. They knew what they were doing. They supposedly had a Neumann lathe, and they had all tube system with no limiting and a real nice vinyl, and they just made audiophile pressings of the Beatles. And they didn't sell for much back then. They were cheap, but they aren't cheap anymore.
Are you done now?
Just keep going up in
You
value.
want to bring everybody back in to say bye?
Yeah, and bring them in.
Let's pull this forward.
Let me get this out of the way.
Everyone, do y'all want to meet the people to say
That's
bye?
the big dog before I put it away. The first one I've had in 45 years. Probably never have another one. All right, the kids want to all say goodbye.
Everyone give a like before it ends.
Bye! Bye!
Kenzie, I can't see you over here.
Subscribe to the channel!
Whoa.
Thank you for everything. Alright, so
I
you're
want
not
to
going
love
out.
it on
All
my
right,
channel.
check in with us next Saturday night, unless I get a lot in the beginning of the week. Same bat channel, same bat time here in Louisville, Kentucky. Mr. STICKERMANIA. Checking out.
I want to watch it.